This channel is supported by Truefire.
Well, what is this all about then? It's the Truefire Summer Music Festival. What I'm going to tell you about, you can get 1 month of all access for just $1. The all access, you can dip in and out of every single course on Truefire, so that's a really great way to get some awesome courses down you.
I think this has to be a candidate for the wildest guitar that Squier ever made. Now, between I think 94 and 97, in Japan, they were making these beasts with a real Floyd Rose. Now this belongs to my buddy Chris. He's on holiday, and Dr. Chris, sorry, I should say. And I went round this the other day to drop him something, and he was like, "Do you want to borrow this?" And I was like, "Well, why not?" Now I'm not a Floyd Rose expert at all. As you will know, I'm not an expert in anything. I did grow up playing RG guitars, which I had an RG 7620, which, to be honest, was a bit annoying. Well, this has got a hard jack. Was, if anything, annoying that it had a Floyd Rose. I think this is a better quality Floyd Rose than would have been on that. Like, it is an actual Floyd Rose branded guitar. It's got Floyd Rose up there, Squier there, and it's a pretty thick thing. Anyway, so let's... Now, what I will say is that I'm immediately taken by how this neck, like normally I associate a Floyd Rose with having one of those skinny kind of wizard type necks. This is actually a bit more substantial than that, and certainly by this point here, you've got a fairly chunky piece of wood. Now, these were both branded Fender and Squier, I think. Proper Gotoh tuners as well. Like, this is... I think... If you imagine Squier building this sort of thing now in Japan, I don't know how much they'd have to charge for this. The neck is really substantial up here. That is quite astonishing. Will it Floyd Rose? I've got a slightly dodgy switch. It's actually keeping its tune very well too. It's obviously the whole point of a Floyd Rose, but surprisingly some of them don't. Getting up nice and close then, as you see, Floyd Rose, black Gotoh tuners, Squier. This little thing, it's also got the retainer behind, obviously. I think these look to me like original frets as they're fairly worn and fairly large. Straightforward rosewood board, obviously. Then this little setup here is kind of interesting to me. So instead of your normal Strat thing of a volume and 2 tones, you've just got the 1 tone. I guess the assumption really is that if you've got a bridge pickup, you don't need to have a separate I'll need to roll that type thing off. As you can see, Floyd Rose, kind of thick with it. This is the wrong arm, but that's not too much of an issue. I don't know if you'll be able to see too much else on here. I can't really. I guess you can see there, that is a chunky neck. I really like that about this guitar, because most of these types of instruments you'd have. Also, that's a reverse headstock, which I think is kind of rare. Very cool guitar in a lot of ways. Weirdly, it's actually quite difficult to find much information on these at all, and so I think if you do happen to find one, you might be pleasantly surprised by it. As I say, I am really liking kind of the combination of these ultra modern sort of shred guitar specs with a chunky neck. And also a 21 fret guitar with a Floyd Rose. I think that's such a cool idea. And really kind of like the epitome of what the Super Strat really was about, where it's like, right, a heavily modified sort of Strat type guitar. So it's going to have 21 frets, but we're going to stick a Floyd Rose on it. It's, I think, a really cool idea. I think it was branded Fender as well for in the US. They didn't sell them as Squier in the US, from what I know, which is very little. But yeah, cheers to Chris for letting me check this out. I'll go and record a demo now.